For 2 million people in India, this is their home. This is one of many dump sites throughout the country, where people have to scour through literal mountains of trash, which often contains sharp objects, toxic waste, and causes many diseases that are often fatal, only to make $3 a day. And because it is the country with the highest global population, India generates 1.3 billion pounds of trash every year. And the increasing wealth disparity between the rich and poor means that millions of people rely on sorting and selling this waste in order to simply survive, forcing them to stay trapped in this cycle. This is simply devastating.
I knew when we picked this project that this was going to be difficult, but I had no idea how heartbreaking it was going to be here and witnessing this firsthand.
This is just unlike anything I've ever seen. Being a new father and having to see children working in an environment like this just absolutely destroys me. And I don't really know how to describe it.
It's not okay. As human beings, we can do better than to allow stuff like this to happen.
But the dump sites aren't the only problem. A large amount of the population live in these urban slums.
The poverty and the living conditions here are extremely harsh. People have been forced to build their houses right next to a railway track. We just met a woman, Baharjan, that lost her legs because she got hit by a train on a misty winter morning.
If I'm being honest, this is one of the most heart-wrenching videos we've ever had to make. And although this problem seems almost impossible to overcome, there is an organization making a difference. Meet Shafkat.
In a country like India, the way poor people are treated, they face a social taboo because they're dealing with dirt and garbage. So people consider them as a dirt and garbage.
Shafkat is the managing director of Tiljala Shed, an organization started 36 years ago by his father Alamgir, who worked in these slums as a waste picker for many years. But he was one of the first and very few people who could read and write in the community. He became a school teacher and quickly realized how many opportunities opened up for him with literacy. And so in 1987, he made it his mission to put every vulnerable child in a classroom.
Any human being, they have their birthrights to get right to work, right to food, right to education. Poverty has no time. They are struggling each and every day.
Because they did not have education, young students going to crime. We have to bring those opportunities at the doorstep for these children.
One of these children is Akbar, a boy born into a society of waste. Growing up, he had no choice but to scavenge trash alongside his family, just to earn enough money to live. That meant a life with no education, no security, and most sad of all, no prospects for a brighter future.
6 months ago, roughly, his father passed away, and that created a lot of pressure on the family. Now his mother is on her own, and it is very, very difficult for the entire family now with all those children.
Akbar didn't choose this life of child labor, of poverty, of pressure no child should ever have to endure.
He has seen the schools from outside the gate, but never had an opportunity to go inside and sit in the classrooms. He was 12 years old, but he never went to school. He never knew anything to write or read properly. What do you want to become?
Engineer.
Engineer. He says, I have seen a lot of things on the roads. People, car breaking down, people asking for help. Nobody comes for help. So I want to help these people.
Yet, despite his circumstances, he never gave up on his dream of getting an education. So Shafkat took Akbar off the streets and enrolled him into school. And in only 2 years, he's already caught up to the 8th grade, exactly where he should be.
It's my hopes and dreams for him that he can now get an education, he can go to university, and he can become an engineer like he's always dreamed of. To make sure that you have every opportunity, we're going to give your family some money so that you can buy food and you don't have to worry. If you promise me that you're going to study hard, I'm going to pay for you to go to school, and I'm going to pay for you to go and get your engineering degree, okay?
Promise?
Deal?
Deal? Yes.
But Akbar is only one of the tens of thousands of children that Tiljala Shed has taken out of the waste dumps and given an education, safe home, and financial aid. And Darren was about to meet all the kids at the school for the first time.
I can't wait for you to experience that joy when the kids come running through that door, because I can't put that into words.
Shed has put 20,000 children on a path to a better life. That's one organization making a huge difference. And it's not just those 20,000 lives. It's the families of all of those 20,000 people who will be born into a society that's more open and gives them much more opportunity.
When you open a school door, you close the jail door. Education is the only way ahead, is the only way forward, which can only transform the society.
In addition to the education that Tiljala Shed is providing, they offer multiple extracurricular activities so that the kids can discover their passions.
They have artistic talent hidden, so always we try to explore their talent.
We have included sports, we have included taekwondo classes, we have included computer learning, guitar classes, piano classes, and a lot more.
The older kids then showed Darren some of their science experiments.
Oh wow, look at that, it's 3D. How did you do that? Can you tell me how you made this?
जब ये सब रिसाइकल होने वाला सामान है, वुडबोर्ड है, सब उसी से बनाया गया है.
That is water dispenser. That's
I think it's really important to recognize how innovative and resourceful these kids are. They have so little to work with, and yet they are putting the materials that are at their disposal over here to build these experiments and educate themselves and learn. There is so much potential that is untapped in these kids that don't even get a chance at an education.
Despite the tremendous impact Tiljala Shed is making in their community, the problem is too large to solve alone.
There is so much need in the community and so much struggle. We need to expand our operations. So there is always very difficulty for organizations like us to mobilize resources.
And to ensure that we can make a long-lasting stamp on this problem in India, we have decided to fund the entire program at Tiljala Shed for an entire year to help them expand to more areas in Kolkata and eventually throughout India.
Because of each and every one of you, your viewership has helped get the support for this philanthropy, and we as a recipient can tell you we have received the support and the commitment from this philanthropy. Thanks so much for your blessings.
But we have one more surprise. Shafkat told us that a lot of the kids were interested in computer learning, but the local library doesn't have enough computers to facilitate all the children. So we decided to help.
We also wanted to do a little more, so we bought you some computers.
There are hard days, there are challenges, but this is the job of the social activists to find the strategies, to find the ways to overcome them. That whatever difficulties and challenges come, that will be removed.
But we're not done just yet. Earlier at the dump, Shafka introduced Darren to Moesh and Adir, two brothers who had been working as trash pickers since they were 13 years old.
They start very early in the morning, so it's like a 12-13 hours work, and they have very big families.
यही काम हम लोग कर रहे हैं. चुनू के बच्चा लोग को सरकारी में पढ़ा रहे हैं और ये सब कर रहे हैं.
Mohesh told Darren how he has to sift through garbage for hours every day, and he does this with the dream that eventually he will finally have enough to send his children to school.
$5-6. It's very difficult for a rag picker family to run on just a small amount.
Mohesh then invited Darren to his home to meet his family and learn more about the struggles he faces at home.
It's unbearably hot in here, and it's not even the hottest part of the summer. It's actually the end of the winter, and it's already stifling hot in here.
The heat makes it extremely challenging for Mohesh to prevent the food from spoiling, sometimes leaving him and Adir with no other choice but to work without eating, making it nearly impossible to keep up with this demanding work.
You know, to see how hard you work so that you can take care of your family, we want to help you a little bit. We're going to buy you a fridge that works. What I want to do as well, when your child is a little older, we want to put them in a proper school. We'll pay for it, okay? You're welcome, my brother. When Beast Philanthropy first started taking donations, we had not done a single international project, nor had we ever announced that we'd be doing any. But in the first week, the country that made the most donations to Beast Philanthropy was from India. This demonstrates the extraordinary kindness and generosity of the Indian people. And ever since then, it's been a high priority for me to come here with Beast Philanthropy and reciprocate the extraordinary generosity that they have shown to us.
I want to give a massive shout out to the Smith Brother Family Foundation. When Darren found out that many of the kids in the program don't eat every day, he reached out to some old friends of his and they made a very generous contribution that will help us feed over 80 families for 2 years. Thank you guys for being awesome.